Hello traders, how are we? Welcome back to Simply Forex. Trader Tom here, and it feels like I haven't seen everyone for quite some time. So it's good to be back. I had a lovely time on holiday. If we've got any Italian viewers in, you have a very nice country. Well, I say I only visited Tuscany, but Tuscany was beautiful. Yeah, I put a few pictures on the VIP Discord, guys, and just the views, the countryside. So yeah, there you go. Had a lovely time, lovely holiday. Got a bit of a tan. Don't know if you can tell. Quite chuffed with my tan. Because normally I go bright red. So yeah, there you go. Good time had by all. Feel very relaxed, very recharged. But also, guys, it's your first day back from holiday, right? So you don't really know your ass from your elbow. Yeah, I saw all these candles on my chart. I thought, what are these? I have this little instrument over here that has buttons. I think it's called a mouse, right? I really don't know what's going on. It's the first day back. I'm only joking. It's not that bad. But you know what I mean, guys. First day back at work, if you like. This is my job. Yeah, just trying to get your brain around everything. And what are we going to do in this live stream? Well, we're not going to talk about my holiday all live stream, unless you want to. I'm happy to discuss it. It was very nice. We're also going to take a look at the news, guys, because we've got important news coming out at 1/2 the hour. So someone please remind me that there is news coming out, right? We've got all of this CPI data coming out of America, and this is obviously very important. So we'll do that. We're also going to take, we're going to look at some trades that I'm looking at right now. The catalyst, if I forget words and everything, bear with me. It was a late flight last night. The catalyst, good word, considering I've been on a plane, was pound strength for today. So we're going to take a look at a few pound pairs. So we're going to analyze those. We're going to take a look at the news. We're going to do some in-depth market analysis, but also, guys, don't be shy. Come say hello. Come leave a question, and we will answer as many as we can as well. So that is the plan, guys. Right, let's see who we've got in. So PJ, welcome back. Cheers, PJ. How are you, mate? Mark, how are you? Sheldon. Interesting question here. Who is going to win the Ballon d'Or? That is going to be Mohamed Salah. There you go. I'm not biased at all. I am a Liverpool fan. But very important question, Sheldon. Who cares about trading when you've got football questions? So there you go. Brett, how are you, mate? Aussie Trev from Australia. Mark wants to look at CAD Yen. Okay, we'll take a look at CAD Yen in a minute, Mark. Tony, hi. And hi. Daniel, hi, Daniel. Hi, Marky Mark. That is Mark Wahlberg. And Godwin, how have you been, Godwin? Yeah, longest time. It is. Hope you're well. Kibria as well. Hello. Welcome back. All right. Cheers, guys. So, yeah, good to be back. I'm back in the hot seat. It's not that hot, really. It is a nice, comfortable office chair. Anyway, let's start with what I'm looking at, guys, and then we'll work through your questions, all right? So let me just hide that. The editor's not with me today as well. You think first day back, the editor would be here and support me. Just buggered off. Yeah, so there you go. Right, guys, let's take a look at pound weakness. That's the catalyst for today, really, with my trades. So there's lots of pound pairs that I like. So this is pound New Zealand dollar, and this is the day chart, right? So it was in this uptrend. Yeah, stopped making higher highs. That's always a red flag that price is slowing down. Excuse me, it's all that Italian food and red wine. But also at these highs, right? If you get a candle that looks like that, right, that is huge rejection. That suggests that price could also be structurally breaking then, right? And sure enough, right, after we see that big bearish candle, we're now in, yeah, I'm going to say that is the price action. That's the structure of the market. So we're in a downtrend, right? There was all this support in here, right? But yesterday's candle, don't know if I mentioned it, but yesterday I was in Tuscany. I'm only joking. I wasn't actually. I was probably on a plane and nobody likes flying. Anyway, we had this big bearish candle break these lows, and now we have retraced to that level. And we've got all of this room to move into, potentially back down to these lows in here, right? So this is pound New Zealand dollar. And if we go to the H4 chart, we are literally at that level. What was once support, right, becomes very good potential resistance. So I'm just waiting for a bearish candle, guys, really. I mean, this H4, I would say these are the last significant highs, right? Actually, yeah, I mean, you could say this level here as well, right? That level there. So really, I want to see a H4 candle that has a, you know, a large wick that really closes back into that high there. Something like this would work, okay? Then I will consider selling pound New Zealand dollar, all right? And this is the same theme for all pound pairs. Bear with me, guys, if it's a little bit slow motion. The cogs of my brain are slowly building up pace again. And I haven't got my vodka, so... so pound New Zealand dollar, we like sells. Pound Aussie dollar, same situation, right? We was in this daily uptrend. Yeah, I'm going to consider that, right? I mean, even if you do or don't consider that a significant enough low, right? It's definitely broken this low anyway, right? So we're in a downtrend. And again, nice big bearish daily candle, lots of room to move into. You know, obviously highly, highly correlated with pound New Zealand dollar. And I would say this one needs a little bit further to retrace, right? Once it gets to the moving average 20, maybe this low here, this is a really nice area for selling. All right. And the last one is pound Canadian dollar. Again, you know, I won't show you the day chart, guys, because it's a similar scenario, right? But on the H4, you know, this is what I'm really considering. So I'm considering this is a very bullish H4 candle, right? So that suggests we have more room to retrace into. And looking at this chart, it does, right? The moving average 20 is still up here. Really, this is the last low. There is this low over here, but this is the last H4 low of significance. And we've got this big 1.85,000 psychological level. So in here is very attractive for selling pound Canadian dollar, whereas this less so, right? Let's imagine the H4 candle finish like this. Now, some people would argue, Tom, you know, that's a bearish H4 candle. We're in a downtrend. The daily's in a downtrend. You know, that's bearish enough for me. Now, I wouldn't disagree if this candle was up here, right? You know, once it's had this deeper retrace. And I wouldn't argue with you if the very previous candle was that candle. That's so bullish, right? So I wouldn't enter on this candle, even if it is bearish. I would suggest looking at this, looking at these levels, yeah, and the psychological levels. This still has a bit more room to go into, but we shall see. If it doesn't, you know, price could quite easily just from here come flying down. If so, no problem. I miss out on the trade. But I'm looking for a deeper retrace for those reasons I just mentioned. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. And, you know, this candle might not even finish like this, right? This candle might finish like this or something, right? And be quite bullish. Then obviously we're not interested. All right. But yeah, that's what we're looking at, guys. I'm not actually in any new trades right now. Excuse me. What else am I looking at? I do quite like Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar sells. If we look at the day chart, okay, I would suggest these need a little freshening up. But there's this level through here. Right, that is the last significant high on the daily. Right, we was in an uptrend. Bang, we're in a downtrend. And that was the last significant high. Right, so Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, we're back at those highs. We have a bearish reaction. Right, I'm suggesting we could take price lower with Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. And if we look at the H4, it has broken, right? You're probably thinking, Tom, what have you been drinking in Italy? And the answer is lots. But these lows here have broken with this candle, right? We was in this, clearly in this H4 uptrend. Right, that's still a level of importance, right? But we've broke that level with this candle. The body of that candle breaks those lows. We're below the moving average 20, right? I would suggest this might be a good sell trade. I'm going to keep an eye on how this H4 candle forms as well. If it looks like this, right, may well enter, right? Stops up here. Yeah, look to take price back down to this level here. Maybe leave some profit to run. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is everything I am looking at right now. And as always, guys, if you want all of my trade ideas every day, then please don't forget to join our free Discord channel. It is free, hence it's called the free Discord channel, right? So you can join for free. Just come on, and every day I give you all of my trade ideas, right? So as you can see, Wednesday, 11th of June, these are all the trades that I'm looking at. Obviously, I don't trade them all. That's what maniacs would do, and I'm not a maniac. Although you should have seen me on the red wine and the spritzers on holiday, you probably would have thought maniac, right? But yeah, so come join, guys. And also right now, if you join our free Discord, we're also giving you 50% off the Simply Forex Complete Trading course. So it's a no-brainer. Just join, get my trade ideas, get 50% off the course. And all you need to do, guys, as you can see on the screen, there is a, what's that called? A QR code. So you just scan that and away you go. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. All right, guys. So yeah, that's everything. And also, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash that like button. Merci beaucoup. Right, back to Mark's question. Mark, you were first, right? So Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Let's take a look. So let's do a top-down approach, guys. Let me have a little bit of water. This is actually water today because I've overdone it. So Canadian yen, right? Let's do a top-down approach. Now, structurally, this is the first thing we look at. We just look at structure, right? I'm going to suggest that. Okay, this is pretty much structure, right? This is what we're seeing. So we was clearly in a downtrend, right? And we're all looking for sells. Now it's not clear what we're looking for, right? Because we have this level through here that has proven to be very good resistance once, very good resistance twice, right? And normally, if price got to this level, I would be looking for sells. But, you know, are we beginning to see higher lows? Okay. Yeah, because you can clearly see that, guys. We're starting to see this new low in here potentially. Right now, this new low will be confirmed if we break that level, right? Let's imagine we get a big bullish candle like this form. right, then clearly we have higher highs, and this clearly becomes a higher low. It's quite clear as it is, but a big bullish candle through there would confirm it, right? There'll be no doubt that we're in an uptrend, and that's the last low. So bearing that in mind, we are at a key level of resistance, right? So first and foremost, I know I don't want to buy into that. Just, I don't, right? You don't buy into resistance, you don't sell into support. That is trading 101. Bear with me, first day back. So I'm not interested in buys. Am I interested in sells? Not really. This weekly candle is very bullish, right? But that's just the weekly. So on the weekly, it's simply a stay out, an SO, right? A stay out for me. But if we look at the day chart, let's get some more information. Now, on the day chart, again, like if we just look at structure, that is what we're doing, right? So it's important that you can understand where the highs and lows are. So low, higher low, high, we're making higher highs. So we're in an uptrend, which again suggests I want to buy, but we're at this key resistance level. Now, interestingly, we do have a nice bullish daily candle before that, but I'm still not interested, right? What I want to see is a break of this level, a candle that breaks through that level, right? Then I'm interested. But even then, I'd be waiting for a bit of a retrace into value before we come higher. So all in all, Mark, that is a stay out for me as well. So I would not be interested in Canadian dollar yen today. I was interested in Aussie dollar yen. So let's understand why, because it's clearer, right? Now, day chart, this is where we're at, right? We're in an uptrend, higher highs. These lows are holding, right? We're above the moving average 20, right? We've got bullish, doji, bullish. But on this occasion, unlike Canadian dollar yen, we've got lots of room to move into, back up to here. So Aussie dollar yen buys is far more appealing than CAD yen buys because we're at resistance. Yeah, so there you go, Mark. I hope that helps. Right, what other questions have we got in today? So Daniel, welcome back. Hope you had a nice days off in lovely Italy. I did, Daniel. I mustn't keep going on about it. Who else we got? Marky Mark, did you say pound strength? Yeah, that's the catalyst for trades today. For Pello, hello. Brett, fault on gold, please. Okay, we'll take a look at that. And hello. Right, so we've got lots of people turning up. Okay, so hello everyone. Let's go through the questions one at a time. So hello Lily, hello Daniel, hello Robert. Yeah, hi guys. Michael, how are you? Okay, so where did we get to? Gold. Right, let's have a look at gold now, guys. So I did my analysis this morning, guys, but obviously, the charts are all a bit fresh to me. But let's do a top-down approach. Now, weekly, right, clearly in an uptrend. Okay. Yeah, that's the last low. This is where we're at. All right, we're clearly in an uptrend. But do you want to buy into that wick? Right, you can already see there is some selling pressure coming into gold, right? In here, and don't get me wrong, that is quite a vague area because look at the size of the wicks. Yeah, I can't help that. That's what makes it vague. right? But there's sellers in there, right? And you can see sellers have pushed that down. So we're in an uptrend, but do I want to buy into that candle? No, right? If we go down to the day chart, it's looking pretty clearly an uptrend, right? So again, if we look at gold, right, on the day chart, that's where we're at. We're getting higher lows, higher highs, and we've got some room to move into, right? So, you know, gold is looking, a buy trade is looking more attractive. I definitely wouldn't be selling this market, right? But again, look at these candles. The last 2 days is really just indecision, right? Because if you think about what I just showed you, right, you've got this daily uptrend and you've got that bearish weekly wick. Of course, that is going to lead to some, what's the right word? Told you, can't remember anything today. That's going to create some contradiction, some conflict, right? And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that in the last 2 days' candles. It'll be interesting to see what this candle does. Now, if it is bullish, right, that tells us that buyers are in control, right? And potentially we do have a buy trade back up to here, if not here, right? But right now, wouldn't be interested in gold for those reasons. So there you go, Brett. Hope that helps me. Daniel, good. I like talking about football. Speaking of the footy, we should open a Simply Forex Fantasy Premier League for the new season. I like your thinking, Daniel. I really do. That's a wonderful idea. And whoever wins can get some, you know, like challenges, some, what are they called? Can't remember anything. Prop firm challenges, maybe access to the VIP. Yeah, Daniel, please message the editor. You're in the Discord, so please message the editor. I'll speak to him as well and say Fantasy Premier League for the new season. Great idea. Right, Bojan, I see 7 indicators, but chart is empty. Is there a reason why you keep them hidden? No. These indicators are, I don't know what they are. One's a watermark, right? And the others are where I've been testing strategies. So if you know some of my recent videos, guys, on looking at other strategies around YouTube, you know, some of the most viewed strategies, some of the most traded strategies, and a lot of them were using these indicators, and I just haven't taken them. Right, so one was a 10 and 30 crossover, one was using Higanashi candles, etc., etc. So, yeah, that's all that is, Bojan. The thing that I do have is the moving average 20. That is like a old trusted buddy. Yeah, I don't go anywhere without it. I took it to Italy. Yeah, so there you go, guys. And also, speaking of testing strategies, actually, Lily, I think you wanted this as well. A few people have wanted this, and it's the you know, smart money concepts. Now, for me, that is just a load of old unnecessary jargon, right? Just trying to make trading sound more complicated, and I don't know, maybe a few YouTubers making them sound like they're great, but it's a load of confusing, unnecessary crap. So what I've done, guys, literally after this live stream, we're going to post a video sort of debunking smart money concepts and just simplifying it because it's so overly complicated for no reason. So yeah, if you're interested in that, please check out that video after this live stream. There you go, guys. Daniel has already shorted pound Aussie dollar and pound New Zealand dollar. Okay, Daniel, I'll be interested to see where your stops are. Lily, what do you think about Canadian dollar Swiss franc? All right, let's take a look at CAD Swiss franc. Where are you? There you are. So just immediately, just look at that. That is nasty, nasty price action. It's just not trending, right? You know, you want to be trading this kind of market, right? Nicely in a downtrend, right? Bang, in a downtrend, right? You know, you want to trade a trending, flowing market. This is just stuck in the mud, right? So straight away, my initial response is to stay away, right? But let's try and make some sense of it, because even structurally, it's difficult, right? So if we start here, this is where we are so far in terms of structure. I'd say this is where we are. So we are still in an uptrend because we haven't broken these lows, right? We're still in an uptrend. We had higher highs here, but now are we starting to see lower highs, right? And this level seems to be forming as an area of resistance. Now, does that mean, well, what does that mean? I mean, if we got a break of that level, okay, then I'd be interested. There's a bit of room up to a nice 6050 psychological level, right? I think that would be a good trade. If we got a big bearish candle at this level, would I be interested in selling it? Maybe. I'd need to look at the weekly chart. Just look at that weekly chart. That is disgusting. It really is. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dojis pretty much. I would say that one's not a doji. It's more of a bullish candle. But just look at that. I don't think I've ever seen that on a weekly chart. Right? You'd have to, that is just effed. Didn't want to use the full F word, but that is effed. I mean, look, if you go back, you will never see that. You will never see that. Right? There's a bit of indecision here, but then it finds direction. Right? You will never see that. Okay, maybe. All right, maybe here. Yeah, there's a lot of indecision there. And then it picks a direction. So that's what I would wait for, guys, right? You want this, you don't want to be in here, right? You want the market to tell you who has won the battle, right? As buyers won the battle or have sellers won the battle. And that will be easily identifiable, right? If you get a nice big bullish candle, breaks through this, excuse my candle, I've been drinking red wine in Italy, and spritzers. It's not the most masculine drink in the world, but I love a spritzer, which is basically Prosecco with like Aperol. So as an Aperol spritz, they do limoncello spritz. What was it? Campari spritz. There's another one. Yeah, I had more spritz than I did pasta. Anyway, yeah, so if we got a winner, right, if we saw a break of this level, big bullish candle, we're keen on buying, right? And the opposite is true. If we got a bearish candle, break these lows, I'd be less reluctant still because you've got immediately support. So, yeah, just stay away, really. You know, I can understand this, right? That is a nice big bullish candle, right? I want to buy. Yeah, and we are, you know, we are kind of seeing price trickle up. I would agree with that, but this is still a resistance level. So I can understand it, right? Maybe take price up to here. I would still want to wait and see for a break of that level. Let's see how price is reacting at that level, right? So if we put that level in, let's see, right? I mean, it's reacting quite bearishly so far. But again, you know, even if we were looking for, right, okay, so there's some news. Right, let's just take a quick look at the news. All negative for the dollar. and a little bit negative there for Canadian dollar as well, building permits. So this must be a very negative US dollar. Let's take a look. Yep, so bearish US dollar here. Let's also look here. Right, bearish US dollar. No surprises here, guys. Yeah, right. So that is a lot of bearish news for the US dollar. Let's take a look at a yen pair. Let's have a look at euro yen, see how that's taken the news. Okay, let's have a look at Swiss franc. Okay. So yeah, just obviously, guys, lots of US dollar weakness coming into the market. Now let's take a quick look at Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. This was intro. Okay. Apply. Just want to see if we get a reaction. May still be interested in selling that. Right, guys. So what else were we looking at? So Robert, we've done gold. So yeah, check it out. We've already done gold. What else are we looking at? So Marky Mark, my pound New Zealand short TP was off by 10 pips when we crossed into today overnight, right? So okay, so you're selling pound New Zealand dollar. We know that's a good trade. Okay, and I'm liking the look of this, right? It's, you know, we've got another 30 minutes for this candle to finish, right? If it finishes like this, start selling here. We can even hide stops above here and look to take price back down to here, right? That will be the idea for the trade, but obviously wait for this candle to finish, right? Let it soak up that US dollar news and see where this candle finishes, guys. All right. Right. What else are we looking at? AC. Hi, Tom. Do you do any prop challenges? I don't do any prop challenges myself. I trade my own money. But one thing I always say is I wish prop firm challenges were about when I was learning how to trade. It would have saved me a lot of money. Because what I like about prop firm challenges is the reality of them. It's not a demo account, right? Because you're investing money into a challenge. So it's real money, which creates real conditions for you psychologically, right? Let's say you pay, I don't know, $100 for a 5K challenge, right? Then, you know, you've invested into it. You've put some money into it. And I much prefer that idea than a demo. Because a demo, you know, anyone can be good on a demo. But once you start putting real money into the equation, that's when things, you know, start playing with your mind, right? So, yeah, I'm all for prop challenges. Like I said, I wish they were around when I was sort of learning my trade, if you like. And also, guys, we've got 20% off right now with all our prop firm challenges with Blueberry Funded. So that's our prop firm challenge partner. And we've got some really good responses from everyone who's traded with them. So if you're looking for a prop firm challenge, let us know and we'll give you 20% off that as well. Just join our free Discord, find the link, and you'll get 20% off. But no, AC, just trade my own money. Right, what else we got? Yes, thank you, Brett. News in 10, as usual. A little bit late to the news party there. Tane, pound, euro. Yeah, so when you say pound, euro, you mean euro pound, Tane, right? Euro pound's the traded one. And I want to buy this. Like I said, we're looking at pound weakness, right? And this is a really nice newly made structure break. Right, so if we just follow daily structure, back, right? As soon as we got this candle yesterday, we are in an uptrend, right? Broke these highs, even that high with the body of the candle. So I want to buy euro pound, right? I'd probably take it up to the next psychological level, this 85,000, if not up to the next level of resistance in here, right? The problem with it is one thing liking the direction of a trade. Like I like euro pound to buy it, but if it doesn't give me an entry, I can't get in, right? So that's the problem here with euro pound. It's just shut off, right? It's just gone bop, bop. That's a sound effect for price going quickly, right? So as you can see, I've got an alarm in here. Okay. So we know we like pound New Zealand dollar, right? So I've got an alarm in here. So in an ideal world, I want price to retrace somewhere in here, right? Because if I zoom out, right, this was previous, right? Previous resistance, support, resistance, support, support, right? That's what constitutes a good level of support resistance. And I just want to see a retrace into there. At least the moving average 20 catch up a little bit, right? Because if I'm trading here, I'm getting value, right? If I start buying here, there's just no value, right? You know, news comes out, you see this candle, you're like, oh, Tom, I love it, I'm going to start buying. Then this candle finishes like that. And you're like, Tom, why did I buy it then? And I'd be like, I don't know. Right. So I need to have that retrace into value. Now, if this does shoot off, so be it, right? There'll always be tomorrow, and I'll be looking for the same. So let's say price does do this, right, and shoots off up here. I'm still looking for a retrace potentially back into these highs then, right? But euro pound, yeah, 100% looking for buys with them. Menchu Reyes, New Zealand yen, please. Going for a retracement. Thank you. All right, let's have. So you're trading against trend by what you're saying there. So same as the other Canadian dollar yen, right? We are in a daily uptrend, right? Clearly, higher lows, higher highs, but we are at resistance, right? So I definitely don't want to buy it. And judging by you're going for retracement, so you're selling the retracement, I assume is what you mean, Menchi, right? So, right, going off the dollar, okay. Right, so we're at resistance, so I don't want to buy it, but you're suggesting we can sell the retrace. Okay, let's take a look. So on the H4, right, price has stopped making higher highs, right? Stopped. Okay, but what it hasn't done yet, or it may not, it hasn't broken structure. So even if I wanted to trade sells from this, we know it's a resistance level, right, on the daily, for me to really start selling sells here, sorry, for me to start selling the market, not selling sells, can you do that? No. I want to see a break of these lows in here, really, right? Perhaps we get something like this, and then bang, we get a break. Then I'm interested in selling, right? I'm not interested in just selling here, right? Price is clearly in an uptrend, right? We're above the moving average 20. You know, that's not exactly a bearish candle, neither's that. So, yeah, I'm not interested. Let's have a look at H1. Yeah, I mean, if anything, that is in a H1 uptrend, really, although we're holding on to this level. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this candle does. Will it hold on to that level? Then okay, maybe. But for me, there's no trade there for me. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay, so Aussie Trev, just a thought. Is there a volume indicator that tells you which pairs are both going up or both going down individually rather than combined? So you get, yes, I'm sure there is. I'm not sure how that would help. Because you need to know the direction, right? There's one thing, volume coming into the market. And when volume comes into the market, it generally comes in at support or resistance levels. So, you hear all these concepts like fair value gaps, support and resistance, supply and demand, order blocks. These are all really the same thing. These are, where are the orders sitting? Where is volume going to come into the market, right? And volume comes into the market at these levels, right? Because the market, millions and millions of traders are seeing the same level, right? So all of a sudden there'll be an influx of volume, but it doesn't help you with regard to direction. It just tells you there's a lot of volume coming into the market. So yeah, you can't rely on volume for direction. Just it could act as a piece of confluence to tell you that is a good level for support and resistance, right? But that's about it. Yeah, direction, I would rely on trend, structure breaks, etc. So yeah, but yeah, Aussie Trev, we always like a out of the box thought, and you also get these heat maps, right? So they tell you what is strong. They're like, right, today pound US dollar strong, euros weak, etc. You get those heat maps, but again, I don't think they're worth the paper they're written on. They're not written on paper; they're on a website. But you know what I mean? They're just lagging, right? Yeah. So anyway, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Also, guys, don't forget to join our free Discord channel. If you join our free Discord channel, we will give you 50% off our Simply Forex trading course. But not only that, guys, I give you my trade ideas every morning in there as well, plus much more, right? We've got a community. You can have a chit chat about whatever you like. It could be gardening, it could be football, it could be whatever you like. Don't know why I chose gardening. I think I will like gardening eventually. Right now, not so much. Menchie, noted, thank you. Is that the EMA 20 or the SMA 20? The blue is the SMA 20. It's the simple moving average 20. Gold is going mental. Let's take a quick look at gold. Gold is going mental. We said we would buy gold. It's in an uptrend, right? Yeah, H4's in an uptrend. But that's off the back of news, guys. I'm not one for jumping in on, I wouldn't start buying this. I'm like, oh, US dollar's doomed. I'm going to start buying this. It's not enough reason to take this trade. However, being in a H4 uptrend is, and if we get a nice retrace is, yeah, but news on its own, unless you're a news trader, let it settle. And on that note, guys, we are going to call it a day. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining me on my first one back. Thank you for being gentle. I hope I made some sense. We're not sure. But yeah, don't forget, guys, same time tomorrow for the live stream. We'll do it again then. And also, please don't forget to join the free Discord, subscribe, like, and share. Have a great trading day, and see you again soon, guys.